Hello beautiful internet family, Dan here from danstube.tv, and if you're new around these parts then you can expect brutally honest tech reviews on the channel. Now, it looks like we're ready to see a brand new drone from DJI, and it's an FPV drone. It's something I've been waiting for a very long time because I would love to get into the FPV space, but there's just so much involved. It's something that you can't really just kind of casually dive into. It's something you really need to invest a lot of time. You need to learn how to build the drone, how to repair the drone, how to program the drone. There are so many elements to it, and DJI coming into the FPV space will really simplify it and really allow that novice, that first time FPV pilot, to jump into the space and really get their head around what flying FPV looks like. So basically, it's here. We've got March the 3rd, 2021. This is the announcement. This is when we'll see the FPV drone. And as you can see from the footage right there, it's clear, like that shot right there, clearly an FPV shot. It's going to offer just such a unique filming perspective for so many people, and it's going to be a really exciting space because, like I mentioned before, the FPV world is such an exciting world, and DJI are obviously at the forefront of innovating different spaces. They've, innovated the all-in-one camera system space. They've really pushed the action camera world. Their gimbal world has been, evolutionized. Is that a word? Evolutionized? Who knows? We'll make it a word. They've really been pushing the boundaries, and obviously their drones really stand out and have stood out for years, and really no one can touch them in that space. So the FPV world is something that I was waiting for DJI to jump into because I knew that they had the potential. I knew that they had something that they could bring that would really bring something new. So this is it. This is the DJI FPV drone. It looks like they're just going to call it DJI FPV. And the reason I say that is because an unboxing video is already live online. This is from Dominion Drones. It's on the Spider Monkey FPV YouTube page. And this is it. Like, I'll mute it so you can see, but it's just called the DJI FPV Combo. I really love the design of the drone. It's super unique. It looks very robust. From some of the videos I've actually seen online, it looks like quite a heavy duty drone. So that's it there. You see, you get the goggles, you get the drone, and it looks quite heavy almost. It actually looks like quite a hefty FPV build, and that's so important because you're going to be crashing. There's no doubt about it. It's an FPV drone. It needs to be strong. It needs to be able to take a beating, and this bad boy looks very strong. So you can see you're struggling to take off the gimbal cover there. Looks like we've got some sensors on the front there. When he opens it up, you can see it's quite a decent looking camera. From what I was seeing, it's because the manual obviously has been released. Everything's been basically put out there now. I think it's a 150-degree viewing angle from the camera itself, and the way that it's positioned as the props are kind of spinning, you're not going to be able to see the props because it's angled up, and it looks like you have control over that camera as well, so you can move it up and down. There's a few other sensors on the bottom there, and one thing that I thought DJI would do if they were to bring an FPV drone into the space was I thought that they would make it, they really had to capitalize on that novice, on that beginner market, but also still make it a viable option for people who already own an FPV drone. So it looks like they're really trying to capitalize on so many different areas here. It could be, that unique filmmaking aspect, which can bring some unique kind of viewpoints to it, but also something that the experienced FPV pilots can still get something out of. Love the build quality here of the goggles, and from my understanding, these will be the FPV goggles version 2.0, which are actually available right now. I believe this is a separate link. This is to this is basically just a video using the FPV goggles here. Not very handy at all. But you can see the controller there, a very sleek gray DJI design. DJI are definitely going with that gray design for all of their drones now, even with the latest controllers for the Mini 2 and for the Air 2. So again, a very similar kind of aesthetic in terms of its look, but then it's just a very simplified controller. It really does look like a gaming controller, kind of a hybrid of an Xbox and a PlayStation controller, which is very unique. And then from there you have the goggles and the drone in the background. So a very unique offering, and that's the Fly More combo with everything included obviously there. You can see some promo art has already been leaked, and this is probably just going to be on the DJI website. Really cool shot there of them controlling the drone in a very like barren kind of setting. A random ad for another drone. And here it is. So this is the DJI FPV redefine flying. Their marketing is like always on point, but redefine flying. So again, it's like clearly targeted at people who want to get that unique cinematic footage. And as we go through this video, I believe it's 4K 60, which I will confirm in a sec when we go to the next tab. All of these tabs are from other publications, so make sure that you go and check them out for their proper sources. And all of this, as you can see, this is like a promo piece that has obviously been leaked early. It's $1,299. I'm guessing that's US, so it will be quite an expensive drone, and that will probably be the Fly More, I'm guessing. And here it is right here. This is the offering. This is everything you get. The gimbal cover. Don't know what this green thing is here. You get the goggles, the controller, the drone, the charging kit. The batteries look very unique as well. I love the design of the batteries. You get multiple props, which is what you need for FPV, as you're going to be crashing a lot. You get the strap for the goggles, a few other random cables here, and that's kind of quite an extensive kit. It doesn't look like you get additional batteries, unless that's not the combo there, but it does say the combo. Yeah, obviously they'll sell the batteries as an additional thing. It'll be interesting to see how much they're going to make out of the batteries. And then we've got here up to 4K at 60 FPS. And this has all been through the manual, and all of this has been leaked. The promo art's been out there. So it's basically confirmed. This has happened time and time again with DJI for the last couple of releases. It happened with the Air 2, the Mini 2, and the Pocket 2. So the three like most recent releases, we've had that early leak, which is exciting, but a little bit disappointing for the company, I'm sure, as well. It's really cool to be able to discuss it early, though, because you guys will be flooded with video content straight when it's announced. All of the content creators will have their hands on this. Boom, it will be out there. There'll be like probably 20 different videos in your sub feed. So there are two types of videos. The one that's seen by the goggles and the other that is recorded. So it has a wide 142 degree viewing angle. HD digital FPV provides a real-time view. So it says here transmission up to 810p at 60 frames per second. And it's that digital, HD digital FPV instead of the analog, which a lot of FPV pilots are used to. And that really revolutionized the FPV space anyway. So that was what DJI initially did with their version 1 of the goggles. So now they're obviously improving on that, releasing the version 2, and then including a whole kit with a drone and a controller, and it's just a whole experience. It's redefining flying. It's going to be crazy because it really the FPV world, I've been in that space for a long time with my clothing brand, connecting with lots of FPV pilots, and I can see it's such a beautiful community. There's so many passionate flyers out there, but to bring it to the mainstream with DJI, it's just going to change the space. Like, hopefully it won't go in a negative space. Hopefully this will just really build up the sport, because it's such a beautiful sport, and there are so many people that really love this. So as we can see here, 4K at 60 FPS. It's got a CMOS 1/2.3 inch sensor, 12 megapixels, and it also does 1080p at 120 FPS. So you get slow-mo and also 4K at 60. So that's like pretty mint. That's phenomenal. This is the other thing that I'm really interested to see. It's a motion-controlled flight controller. It's like a joystick, and actually from Drone DJ here, and also a few other sources, it looks like DJI are already in court over this design here. And of course, it's Autel that have taken them to court. They took them to court a couple of years ago, I believe, over another dispute. But you can see this is Autel's controller. Very similar design. I don't know if it feels like it's probably not going to stand up in court. But again, I have no idea. I'm not a lawyer. I have no idea what would happen. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I have no idea. It's going to be interesting to see, though. They are very unique and both very different. They don't look the same necessarily, but it looks like DJI will be going with that motion control, which is such a unique offering for the FPV space. So there'll be a sports mode within that, and it says controlling the drone at max speed of 50 kilometers an hour. So there's obviously different resources out there, different publications that are reporting on this. So it's hard to say what's fact right now. If we were to look through the manual, look thoroughly through a lot of the videos out there that are really showcasing it at depth, that would kind of confirm it. But again, like, even though this is pretty much guaranteed, just take it with a grain of salt until we actually get the confirmation from DJI. But this is very unique. I love the fact that they have a motion controlled controller. This will be an additional accessory by the looks of it. It won't be something that's included in the kit, but still, like, honestly, just innovating the space, a very unique offering in the space. So that's really cool. We can see here with this shot here, March the 2nd, 2021, 9 a.m. EST. That's when we'll see the drone. It looks exactly like the drone that we've seen before. And hopefully, you know, we'll have those landing options. So it'll be nice and easy for those FPV pilots that are starting out, that really want to get into the space, who might not have ever used an FPV drone, to be able to have those safety precautions where you can get used to it. You know, you can go from like a hovering mode, like the usual DJI drones, to then a bit more of, I guess, the acro mode, where it is a bit, you know, lots of flips, lots of crazy movements, and hopefully there'll be like slow kind of iterations so that early stage pilots can really get used to controlling an FPV drone and really build up to the point that they're confident and comfortable flying in those acro trippy modes. So that's something that I'm really, really keen to see. And again, I was expecting this, I was waiting for DJI to drop this, and it's really exciting to see. Again, just look online, type in DJI FPV, and you can see this a bit more in depth and see exactly what's happening. There's that unboxing video that I just showed you guys before. So that's kind of it. That's let me just pull myself back up full screen. That's basically DJI FPV in a nutshell. It's coming very soon. We've got some exciting, innovative new spins in the FPV world. The motion controller is really cool. To be able to land by the looks of it and actually like have you know, proper landing legs, like not, you know, a lot of FPV drones will just flop onto the ground, or you'll have to kind of turtle mode it and then flip it over and fly up. It looks like they've really thought about, you know, how to appeal to everyone, to the advanced FPV pilots, also the beginners as well. So this could change, well, this is going to change the FPV space. Really excited, guys. I'll try to have some content on the channel as soon as possible. Looks like I'll be able to get my hands on the DJI FPV drone, which I'm very excited about. It'll be my first time properly flying FPV. So it will kind of give you guys, the beginners out there, a true gauge of what it's like to fly an FPV drone for the first time, and to fly the DJI FPV drone at that. So anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I'd love your thoughts in the comments below. Are you going to pick this up? Have you ever flown FPV before? And if you haven't, are you thinking about getting into the FPV space with DJI's new drone? I'd love to know. We'll start that conversation in the comments, and it'll only be a few days until we know exactly what's happening and what we can expect from this new offering from DJI. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to have a phenomenal day, night, evening, wherever you're at, and peace out.